What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of Bullish Chips, where we use a proven and repeatable strategy to make money every day. This channel focuses on the Bullish Semiconductor ETF, which goes by the ticker symbol SOXL. But if you use the charting or trading method that we use, it can be used with any publicly traded company in the U.S. stock market. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy this video. It really helps the channel grow. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you're notified when we release new videos. We do the Monday through Thursday nightly videos and the one weekend video, but we release bonus content from time to time. So make sure you're notified when those videos drop. Our nightly and weekend videos focus on the triggers and targets for trades from scalps and intraday trades all the way up to long-term swings or leap trades. So if you want a deeper dive into how we actually set up our charts and the trading levels that we use, make sure you check out the bonus content on our YouTube page. And for more information about the strat, which is the base of our charting and trading method, you can find more free information in the description of this video. I do encourage you to watch the full video because along with the triggers and targets, we give some pretty good insight into the price action on all time frames. So with that, let's look at the agenda for today. First, we will look at a recap of today's price action, and we'll zoom out like we always do and look at the week, month, quarter, and year real quick. Then we'll zoom back in and set our 4-hour markers and our triggers and targets for Thursday, along with the review of the triggers and targets for the week, month, quarter, and year. All right, so in just looking at the chart, looking at it from the scalping perspective first, looking at the 5-minute chart, you can see we have our 4-hour markers, the overnight high up here at 39.68, previous high of day at 39.01, overnight low of 36.59, and previous low of day of 35.95. Some honorable mention levels here. We have the week flip at 38.23. Above that level, the week is green. Below that level, the week is red. And as you can see from the time frame continuity indicator in the upper left-hand part of the chart, when the week is green, that puts us in full time frame continuity to the upside. The year isn't on here because we're in a real small time frame, but the year is green as well. So as long as we're above that line, full time frame continuity to the upside. Below that line, we are red on the week. We also have last week's 50% line right here at 38.77, this dashed purple line. That has come into play many times over the past few days. And also the market maker's expected move high up here at 39.62. If you're not familiar with the market maker's expected move, make sure you check out our weekend or Thursday night videos where we go a little bit deeper into the market maker's expected moves. So just looking at the price action, we got the open here at 39.56, pressed right up against the market maker's expected move high and the overnight high. And you see we got the initial push to the downside. And we know that in general, our rules are looking for lower highs at or below opening print to get into puts, and higher lows above or at opening print to get into calls. But with where we're at right now, there's specifically pressed up against this weekly broadening formation. This hourly broadening formation was formed with this high, so take this out of the picture, but we have this weekly broadening formation, a couple of daily broadening formations above as well as last week's 50% and the week flip. So we're above those, looking at them as support at this time. So we did take a little bit of a more risky trade than we normally would, and we grabbed calls with the bounce off of the week flip. If you go down to the 1 minute, there was actually a really nice trigger. Let's get things. Oops. Come on, Thinkorswim. So today, early on, you could see that there was this higher low after a higher high on the 1 minute. So we went ahead and entered calls when this went 2 up. So just around that 38.56 level. And we were able to ride them up to opening print, where we did finally get a lower low. Excuse me. Because it was after a higher high, this would be considered the start of a broadening formation. So we did exit most of our position at this level. Again, these were just scalps, but we did hold a couple of runners. And when we flip to the 5 minute, flip back to the 5 minute, we can see that the, oops, let's come on, Thinkorswim. we can see that although it was a lower high on the 1 minute, it was a higher low on the 5 minutes. So we remained in those runners, and you can see we got another higher low above or right at opening print. We thought we were gonna, maybe make a good little run with that higher low at opening print. But again, that weekly broadening formation came into play. It did finally reject off of here, and once we got the lower low, we were able to exit the runners. At that time, that was a lower high on the, we went down to the 1 minute to get the exit, and there was a lower high on the 1 minute right at opening print. Let's see, where were we? What time was that? Can't remember where we, maybe was it on the 5 minute? I'm not sure can't remember exactly where we entered. Actually, no, we didn't enter right away because we were still at the opening print. There was a lower high here, excuse me, on the 1 minute, but it coincided with the 15-minute lower high as well. So you can see we got the lower high at 11:15 on the 15 minutes. So we didn't enter puts once we went 2 down on that. We did call out on Twitter. We haven't been quite as active on Twitter, just kind of concentrating on trading lately with the volatility that we've had. But we did call out to watch for a bounce off of that weak flip again. So it did essentially bounce off of that level. If you go back down to the 1 minute, it gave you a much clearer exit. Yeah, right here you see we got the higher high. I'm sorry, the high and then the higher low right here. We went ahead and exited right at this weak flip, which is where that occurred. So we were able to get out, get into some calls and get into puts and make a little bit of money both ways. We did, excuse me, we did take the higher low on the 1 hour later on in the day. So once we got this 2 up here, this 2 up right here to go above this 2 downs high. Let me make this a little bigger for everyone to see. So you can see we got the 2 down right here, and then the 2 up. That locks this 2 down in as a higher low in comparison to this low. So we did go ahead and grab some more November calls at this lock-in of the higher low on the 1 hour. Still haven't locked in the higher low on the 4 hour just yet, so waiting to add to that position once we really lock it in. Actually, we did. We climbed back up. I guess I'm not. Oh, we just didn't go 2 up again. That's what it was. So we're still watching out for this 1, 2 up, 2 down. So if we do get the 2 down tomorrow, it would be a 1, 2 up combo 2 down. Just trying to protect against any more downside. If we get another 2 up and really break above this weekly broadening formation, then we'll add some more to those November calls that we got today. But that's pretty much it from the intraday perspective. Let's look at it from the day chart. Bring out something a little bit cleaner, and we can see that there's of course Friday's action, Monday with the inside candle, yesterday essentially being another inside candle to Friday's action, as well as today. But we did trigger the 1 excuse me the 1, 2 down, 2 up. We have not reached magnitude, obviously, but again, this is one of my favorite reversals. So we're looking for the high of the candle to the left of the 1. So this 42.84 is what we're looking for on this move. Again, we're running into this resistance at the with the weekly broadening formation. But if we are able to break through, we want to reach that magnitude and try and contest this ultimate high of this move that we had going to the upside. I think this was last Thursday that we made that high, which does coincide with this 100 fib extension of the April low to July high, and then July pullback. It kind of made a bull flag. This is the fib extension of that bull flag. So you can see how we rejected off of it last week. If we can press back up into it, again, we've got that fib extension aligned with this daily broadening formation, so we could see more resistance here. We've got, another weekly broadening formation, last year's 50%. So we've got, even if we do get that push up tomorrow, we still got a lot of resistance that we need to work through before we can even get to this gap at 50 and then think about pushing even higher. But all in all, nothing, too bearish, nothing overly bullish either, right? We're just getting this sideways action. We're starting to grind back to the upside, but we are dealing with this this resistance here. Let's go ahead and look at the week. Zoom out here just a little bit. So things are looking a little bit more bullish, right? We've got the green hammer. It is still an inside candle, but at least from a candle structure perspective, it's a hammer and it's green. Got developing a pretty decent sized body. Hopefully, we want to eventually get a body that's bigger than the lower wick to really show bullish momentum, and possibly even go 2 up on the week. If we do that, it would be a pretty big feat, but I think that it could happen. We've got TSM earnings, a couple of things out there that could continue to push us to the upside. In the same vein, we can still go 2 down on the week as well. So just neutral to bullish leaning, right? It's from the week and down. Again, we've got the higher low on the 1 hour, the higher low on the 4 hour. So the smaller time frames starting to turn more bullish as well. But the higher time frames here, the month and up, we are still pretty bullish, right? So if we look at this, we've got the 2 up still in force on the month chart. So in force meaning that today's close or the current price action is above last month's price action. We've run the strat of this, sloppy combo 2 down, combo 2 up. There was a 3 combo 2 down, 2 up in there. So we've run that strat. Technically, we can say that we've triggered this one. No, I'm sorry. That's the quarter. I keep getting ahead of myself on the month. But again, we've run the strat of this, recovery essentially, and just looking to continue to push up. Would like to take away some of this wick by the end of the month, or possibly even finish with no wick. To show more bullish momentum, even if we don't break through last year's high or get up into this gap just yet, because from the quarter perspective, we're still looking really bullish as well. We did trigger the the 1 combo 2 down, combo 2 up. So that triggered at 36.15, the high of this candle right here. So the target is not just the high of the 1, but the high of the candle to the left of the 1, which is 70.08. So as long as we're above that 36.15 level, we are looking for the ultimate target of 70.08. With the caveat of, just saying we don't do some type of reversal where we have like a 2 up, 2 down, or 1, 2 up, 2 down. Then we reassess things at that point. But as long as we're continuing to move to the upside and we're above 36.15, the ultimate goal is 70.08. From the year perspective, turn things around. If you're familiar with this channel, this is probably getting kind of boring, but it's the same thing from the year perspective. We turned around. We had the 1, 2 up, 2 down. It did trigger, almost reached magnitude, but it didn't. So right now it looks like we're putting in a higher low on the year perspective. We continue to push up. That gives us a better chance of going 2 down, 2 up next year. That target would be the high of the candle to the left of the 2 down, which is the 2024 candle with the high of 70.08. So tying back in with the quarter magnitude move as well. So again, from the higher time frame perspective, things are still looking pretty bullish. Nothing is unraveled. Again, we've talked over and over about how these pullbacks, especially when they are going to the levels that we are expecting them to go to, or we know that there's a high percentage chance that they can go to, and then they're reversing and going back up. Nothing is breaking down at this point from a higher time frame perspective, not even from a week perspective, right? We haven't even got a 2 down on the week, so let alone a higher low or a lower high. So we're still in a very strong uptrend from the week on up, and we just want to continue to see price going in that direction. Let's go back to our scalping chart, and we will look at our 4-hour markers and triggers and targets for tomorrow, starting with the the scalping chart. Just want to look at how we will play things once price opens tomorrow. So again, general rule is higher lows above opening print, call. We're looking for calls. Lower highs below opening print, we're looking for puts. So we do have right now overnight high and overnight lower here. They're obviously going to change overnight, but we have previous high of day, previous low of day, and then again we've got the week flip and last year's 50% now looking like support. Do also need to keep in mind the market makers expected move high, so we could stay just pinned to this level, moving sideways and not really moving up, along with this weekly broadening formation keeping us pinned down as well. So just want to keep that in mind. But let's say that we don't get much overnight action and we open up. Oh, come on. Why would we do that here? Let's readjust. Let's get out the right tool. And let's say, like I said, we do not get very much overnight activity, and we open right in the middle of overnight price action, right here at 39.95. Let's just say, if we open here and we get price action to the upside, say we reject off a previous high a day, or maybe just wick above previous high a day, maybe get a little bit of price action above previous high a day, but then push back down, and then we get some type of higher low above or at this opening print price level, then we want to look to get into calls, right? So higher lows at or above opening print, get into calls. If we open here and we push down, say we get a bounce, maybe off a market maker's expected move high, or even this fib extension, we get a bounce and we push back up, but then we get that lower high underneath or even at opening print, then we want to look for puts to the downside. So lower highs at or below opening print, looking for puts. Right, so the first target, if we do go to the downside, is obviously going to be overnight low. If we are already past that, then we're looking for a previous low a day. Same thing to the upside, not a lot of magnitude here, so first looking for overnight high if we get a higher lows at or above opening print, and next target would be previous high day, so not a lot of magnitude there. If you're looking for more action to the upside, then we need to look at our 4 hour and 1 day triggers and targets, the more longer term intraday plays, or even overnight swing plays, and we'll get into those in a minute. But just as long as everybody is locked in on the proven and repeatable strategy, higher lows above opening print calls, lower highs below opening print puts, right? So, and then you can add in your own levels of nuance in there if you're recognizing we're bouncing off of a specific level, like last week's 50% or the week flip, and you get the right type of reversal patterns on a particular time frame that you like, you can go ahead and enter calls back to the upside, or if a rejection off of a level up here for puts back down to the downside while you're still above opening print. Again, it just adds a little bit more risk to your trade, so you just want to manage it appropriately, but that it's perfectly up to you and your call if you want to do that as well. But just from a very basic perspective, it's higher lows above opening print calls, lower highs below opening print puts. All right, I think we've beaten that horse to death. So let's go ahead and bring up the 4 hour chart and look at our triggers and targets there. Let's bring out the chart. All right, so we can see that today we had this failed 2 up and then a green 1. So first things first, let's remove this. I don't know why that's there. First things first, we need to again recognize that there is a 1-2 up combo 2 down that is still possibly on the table, right? So if we get downside action overnight and and we open below the second 4 hour candle of yesterday for a 2 down, or even we open inside this candle and we push below for the 2 down, that does run the risk of, if we go below this 2 up, below this 37.71 level right here, that triggers the 1-2 up combo 2 down, and then the ultimate magnitude for that is the low of this 2, which is the candle to the left of the 1, and that low is 35.95. So we do need to watch out for that. At the same time, there is the chance of reversal, even if we do push down in the first 4 hour candle tomorrow. What that does is put a 1-2 down on the board, which has the possibility of forming a 1-2 down, 2 up reversal. So just want to stay on our toes. We're around a lot of levels that have come into play multiple times over the past week, 2 weeks, right? You can see just looking left how this is kind of a chop zone. These levels of inflection play importance in the price action, so we could see a lot of up and down action, continue to see a lot of up and down action. So we made money to the upside and downside today. We made money to the upside and downside yesterday, so there's plenty of opportunity out there But just be ready to take your profits. Don't violate any rules. You can always re-enter later if you exit a little bit early and you see that the move is going to still continue. You can always re-enter, right? So right, if we get price action to the upside in the first 4-hour candle tomorrow, that does trigger a 212 reversal. Again, not a lot of magnitude there. We looked at that on the scalp chart, but that does also run the risk of setting up a 1-2 up, 2 down. So again, this just calls into play the level of volatility that we have been experiencing, and we just have to be ready for whichever way price action goes, or if it goes both ways, right? That's why we set our triggers and targets for the upside and the downside. So we just want to watch how things act in that first 4-hour candle tomorrow, because either way, whether it goes to the upside or downside, it could be setting up yet another reversal back to the other side. So just want to keep that in mind. If we look at the day chart, right, we see we had triggered the 1-2 down, 2 up, so we should continue this upward action to magnitude if the strat is going to continue, right? So if we go above the today's high, or I'm sorry, today technically, but tomorrow if we go above the previous day's high, that continues the 1-2 down combo, 2 up, the magnitude being the high of the candle to the left of the 1, which is 42.84. So again, we do want to just bring to our attention is here that we've got the high and then a lower high, and we want to just keep in mind that from the 4-hour perspective, we had a high and then another lower high. So we want to keep in mind that we could push almost to magnitude here and reverse once we get closer to that level. You can see how prices reverse multiple times here, and we could get a push back down. So we just want to keep that in mind as well, because we also have last week's high and this 100 fib extension and these daily broadening formations right here all converging in one area that could offer more resistance as well. So keep all of that in mind. Just know that we may not have a day that just runs off, right? A long trending day. It may be back and forth, or even just a slow grind up or slow grind down. Just want to keep all that in mind. So let's just look at the notes and look at the actual numbers here, right? So for Thursday, October 16th, there will be 51 trading days left in 2025, and the previous close of the day, which is today's close, was 39.98. That did flip us back green on the week. So if the week were to flip red, it would do that at 38.23. And then we know what the month, quarter, and year flip red at as well. Once again, touching on the week's expected move, it was plus or minus $5.41, giving us a range of 39.62 to 28.80. Obviously, we're at the upper edge of that range. And then we know where our gaps above and our gaps are below as well. We talked about higher lows above opening print and low for calls, and lower highs below opening print for puts on the scalp chart. So we're talked about plenty. But looking at the 4-hour chart, if we do get price action to the downside in the first 4-hour candle tomorrow, that triggers the failed to up green 1-2 down, triggering at 38.36 with a magnitude of 37.71 and an extended target of 36.53. If we do go to the upside, it's a failed 2 up, green 1-2 up. That triggers at 40.14 with a magnitude of 40.17, but that 40.17 then triggers the 1-2 down combo 2 up. It's kind of a messy combo, but it's still there with a magnitude of 41.01. So just want to keep those triggers and targets in mind from the 4-hour, longer intraday plays. Looking at the day chart for, again, a longer intraday play or overnight swing, possible couple night swing. If we do get price action to the downside and go below today's low, that triggers a 2 down, green 1, combo 2 down. That triggers at 37.71 with a magnitude of 35.95. Extended targets of 33.18 and 32.44 if, the bottom really falls out there. For the upside, if we go if tomorrow goes above today's high, that triggers the 2 down, green 1-2 up, again triggering at 40.17, targeting 41.01, but an ultimate magnitude of 42.84, and then I put an extended target of 43.37 out there, which was last Thursday's high or last week's high. So that's what you have from the 4-hour and day perspective. We already looked at the week and month and quarter chart, so I won't go back over those as well. Because again, we haven't even triggered on the week, and there's been no reversal on any of the higher time frames. So just keeping in mind, we're still an inside candle on the week. If we go to the downside, that's a 2 up, 2 down, triggering at 34.17 with a magnitude of 33.57, extended targets of 33.18, 31.25, and 30.68. If we break to the upside above last week's high, that just triggers a continuation, a 2 up, 2 up continuation, triggering at 43.37 with a target of 43.80, 45.67, and 46.79. Again, on the month, we have triggered and are still in force on the 2 up, 2 up, triggered at 35.49, reached our first target of 41.19, still looking for that target of 43.80, which we almost reached last week, but still trying to reach it. If we do reach it, we've got some extended targets here. I might look a little bit closer and get something in between this 43.80 and 46.79 level, maybe even 2 targets. It's a month chart, so maybe. I'll just leave those for the month. If things start to really come to a grind, if we get above 43.80 and things are really grinding, I'll get another target. But we do have one on the week at least of 45.67 that would be in between there. So from the month perspective, again, we're still 2 up, 2 up in force, looking for those extended targets. For the quarter, again, we've triggered the first we triggered the 2 down, combo 2 up at 35.49. It reached its magnitude of 36.15, which then triggered the 1 combo 2 down, combo 2 up, with targeting 38.89, 42.04, which we've already reached both of those. And then we've got our extended targets here of 44.54, 46.79, 48.79, and 50. Ultimate magnitude for that move, though, is 70.08. So not saying that's going to happen this quarter or next quarter. Probably take a quarter or so to get there. So once we get above that 50 extended target, we'll get a couple more targets put out there in between it and the 70.08. But for right now, still looking for to first get to this 44.54. But still in force with the 1 combo 2 down, combo 2 up, as long as we're above 36.15. And then on the year, we turned things around. Again, we triggered the 1, 2 up, 2 down. Didn't quite reach magnitude, which is fine with us. That gave us a higher low on the year perspective. And we've really turned things around, making a green hammer on the year, really trying to set up the 2 down, 2 up for next year. That would have a magnitude of that 70.08. So that's what we have for our triggers and targets for today. I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. Again, if you did, give it a thumbs up. Really helps the channel grow. Again, we're not trying to sell anything on this channel, just trying to pack in as much information into a short video as we can, and really help everyone continue to grow in their trading process, and build some stability and some reliability into a system, right? So again, hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, positive or negative, let us know in the comments. We always respond to those, and we're always willing to look at things from another angle. So especially if we're not seeing something that you are, let us know. We'd be glad to know that information, right? But yeah. I hope everybody gets some rest tonight. If you are watching this tonight, if you're watching this in the morning, I hope you got some good rest last night. I hope everybody either wakes up refreshed or is refreshed for the trading on Thursday, and I look forward to trading with you.